Fandom, how's it going? Today we're taking a look at Jeff Lemire's post-apocalyptic masterpiece, Sweet Tooth, and we're going to see if this beautiful little deluxe edition is worth your money. So, let's dive into it. Jeff Lemire is a Canadian-born artist and writer who really broke out in the industry with this bad boy, and I have to say Sweet Tooth to me is without a doubt the best thing he's ever written. Granted, I still haven't read the fan favorite Essex County, but oh my gosh, is this story really, really good. The story centers around the character of Gus. Now Gus, well, when you first meet him, he looks a little bit different than you or I, because Gus is a hybrid. He is a hybrid of a deer and a human. Now before you start turning off this video and going hardcover, are you trying to make me read some really weird furry shit? No, that is not what's going on here. You see, 7 years ago before this story takes place, a plague wiped out pretty much all of humanity, and what was left were a few scattered pockets of human beings and these human hybrids. When we first meet the character of Gus, he's living with his father in the middle of the woods inside of this small cabin. His father has taken ill and is slowly dying. After his father passes, Gus breaks his father's rule. Do not leave the safety of this area. This area is safe. I don't ever want you to leave it. There's nothing out there for you. You don't have to worry about what's out there. What Gus doesn't realize is that there are hunters out there that make money off of capturing and poaching these human hybrid creatures. Fortunately for Gus, he's rescued by this character named Jeopard. Now Jeopard, he's a bit of a complicated person. I really cannot give anything away as far as Jeopard's backstory, simply because if I do, I'm giving away a lot of spoilers. Jeopard ties into this story in many ways more so than Gus. Jeopard promises to take Gus to this place called the Preserve, where they keep animal-human hybrids safe and fed and clothed and well kept. Equal parts of The Road meets Mad Max, Sweet Tooth is a moving, haunting, and in many ways cautionary tale of where we could go in our society. I also have to give it to Jeff Lemire because the series has one of the most assholiest villains that I think I've read in a really long. I mean, I'm talking about levels like Preacher's grandmother. Abbott is, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the biggest bastards that I've met in comics, and oh my gosh, I cannot wait to see him get his comeuppance at the end of this series. So you're probably wondering, hardcover, let's just get into the meat of this thing. What am I getting here that I'm not getting in the standard trade paperbacks? Let's dive in.
Okay, so if this is your first time checking out my channel, this is the part in the video where I go over what you're getting inside of this book. I love this deluxe edition. I think it is beautifully well done. It's very, very well put together. So just so you take a look at that, and underneath the dust jacket, I dig that. Of course, we got Jeopard Gus and the horse that they ride. And let's flip it to the back real quick. The boy and the big man. Something like that. And there you go. There's the horse's ass. I know, didn't expect to see that. But let's keep it going. I'm very light on special features here, but you are getting the first few trades in this little deluxe edition. I love the presentation of this. Very, very nice, thick paper. That's what I like about this story. Even in the trades, the paper was very, very thick. It's not that cheap, glossy stuff that you're used to seeing with Marvel and things like that. I dig this. I dig this a lot. The production quality here is superb. It's very well done, and you could tell it was a labor of love. So for the sake of spoilers, I'm not going to show you too much else in regards to the story and things like that, because, you know, things get ruined just by flipping through pages. So we're going to skip right to the back end. I'll show you some of the special features you're getting here. Okay, so here you are basically getting just some basic concept designs, panel layouts, things like that, early story concepts that Jeff Lemire was working on. Like I said, not too much in terms of special features, sketches, some commentary from Jeff Lemire on, hey, this is what I thought about this cover, this is what I thought about that cover. These are mostly just sketches for cover designs that he was working on. And yeah, more sketches and cover designs. That's pretty much the extent of it. There's character concepts. He gives commentary on what he thought of certain characters and how he came to the idea of certain characters. So, like I said, very, very light in terms of special features, but make no mistake, this is a very nice little package.
Admittingly, Jeff Lemire's artwork isn't for everybody, especially his anatomy. There are some moments in here where you're going to be questioning, well, that doesn't necessarily look right like an arm or anything like that. It's more abstract, and he plays fast and loose with a lot of his pencils. I also really love the design of the different creatures throughout this series, my personal favorite being a young beaver who is really not the most intelligent of the bunch, but still, you just can't help but love the little oaf. I've read a lot of post-apocalyptic stories in my time. Like I've said, this is one of my favorite genres to jump into, and Sweet Tooth really is up there. In my opinion, this is basically the road of comics. Now, I know that's high praise, and I know that is very, very, very high praise, but I struggle to think of a series that I enjoyed more that is set in this setting. And yes, I am talking about The Walking Dead, and I'm talking about a bunch of other comics out there that they are post-apocalyptic. I think Sweet Tooth is without a doubt the best one that's out there. The only complaint that I have with this series is that I feel the ending is a bit rushed. Now, I don't know if Jeff Lemire just ran out of time, or the finances didn't line up at Vertigo, or that was the natural conclusion of the story, but it does feel like he hit the last few issues and he really had to power through it and rush the entire story along. With that said, I rate my books on a pass, borrow, buy, perfect scale, and it's because of that ending that I cannot just, I mean, guys, it is like within a hair of me giving it the perfect, but I'm gonna give this a super, super enthusiastic buy. This is a beautiful little collection of, without a doubt, one of the best post-apocalyptic stories that I've ever read, and you really do owe it to yourself to read this. And there's my review for the Sweet Tooth Deluxe editions. I know I've talked about Sweet Tooth a few times throughout the years that I've been doing YouTube videos, but I really wanted to emphasize just how much I love this series and how much this series means to me on a personal level. I adore this series, and I have fond memories of this when it was coming out, because this started coming out the first year that I was in college, and it finished the last year I was in college, so it's always gonna have a little special place in my heart. With that said, if this is your first time checking out my channel, I do weekly reviews of hardcovers, trade paperbacks, special editions, omnibuses, absolutes, all that good stuff. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. It's going to be found in the description below. And if you want to kick me a couple of bucks and help a brother out, Patreon is found down below. Let me know what you think about Sweet Tooth, and let me know which one of the hybrids is your favorite if you've read the series in the comment section down below. I love you guys. Have a great week. Bye.